Hey everyone, Collision Community, what is going on? Carlton Banks, CEO of Collision Drumsticks, here yet again with another phenomenal video. This time we want to cover 5 things to focus on in 2022. If you already haven't had a chance to see our latest video on our goal setting session of 2022, be sure to check out our latest video as well on our channel. Again, we discussed in depth how to set goals like a killer musician. If you want to get in the right mindset for this new year. Again, many of you sat there now 7 days in to the first week of the new year, hoping all of your goals are being met this year. But so far as well, I know for a fact it can be a struggle for us as drummers, us as musicians out there as well, to maintain those goals, stay consistent. So today what we wanted to do to celebrate the 7th day of the new year and the first week coming to an end of 2022, we wanted to have a bit of a side conversation. We wanted to look into 5 ways or things to focus on in 2022. These are going to be specific things. I'm going to get into depth as well there. In terms of that, again, I want to help you guys at home learning the skills, the things necessary to make 2022 for everyone out there at home your best year yet as well. So you don't want to miss a thing as well. If you want to skip to the end, be sure to where we have posted our 5 key things to focus on at the end of this video as well. But I've definitely, over the last few years, working within the brand as CEO of Collision Drumsticks, a methodology, a strategy, a structure, a system for me and the team that we now implement and execute week in, week out, year in, year out. So again, it's about focusing, finding what works for you, and then implementing that into your day-to-day musicianship, or again, structures as musicians out there as well. So again, 1 year, guys, I think it's really important to say this, 1 year can change everything. We know musicians out there who've struggled for 3, 4, 5 years, and then on the 6th year, made it, gotten signed, or reached new heights with their music. So again, guys, this can be the year for you if you want to make it the year for you. So in terms of that, you've got to change yourself. You've got to look at new disciplines. You've got to make sure that you're focusing on the right habits, these new habits that we can start to implement, then execute within our music as well. So I hope you've got a pen handy. If not, get yourself in a comfortable position, take a seat. If you're driving, drive safe, but be sure to make sure that you take note of these 5 things to focus on throughout 2022 as well there. Wherever you are, whatever you are, this year can be your year. Again, it doesn't have to happen for folks back in the UK or Europe or America. This can be your year wherever you are sat around the world as well. Again, we just want to focus on the habits, think about different focus areas to really shift the mindset and help you change your life as well. So again, I have 100% confidence that this can be helpful, that this can support anyone, anywhere within their music when it comes to that as well. So again, you be sure to stick around to hear these 5 topic areas. Could it be going from 0 to 10,000 followers, as it has been for many of our artists, a part of our backstage community? For those of you who want to find out a little more there, go to the link in our bio after today's video, link below for that, or collisiondrumsticks.com/memberships. Or again, do you want to be someone by the end of the year who writes, records and posts their first album online for digital release, or creates that piece of merchandise that you've been meaning to, or in fact launch a lesson plan and launch your lesson business and teaching business? There are many goals out there. We want to see them posted. Drop a link below, comment below. Let us know what your goals are for this year as well there. But every year should get better. I really want everyone to make that clear in their minds. Every year you should be improving upon the previous year. I always say, guys, you can focus on the competition, you can focus on anyone out there, but the main thing you should be focusing on is making sure you are bettering yourself year upon year. And I really, really hope that resonates as well. As more opportunity comes your way, as more focus comes towards things, that you want in your life, every year should be a step up for you guys at home as well there. And if it's not, and you're learning things that maybe you don't want to have in your life, maybe things that are holding you back as such, you can avoid them by building in discipline within your life. And this is what we're going to cover today. And especially within music, guys. I mean, if you're in a band, you're in a project, or you're just a solo musician right now, you want to build your fan base up, every year. That means you're going to have a bigger foundation, you're going to have a bigger fan base at the start of the next year and the next year, and that carries forward with you year upon year as well. So everything should improve for you, and if it's not, that's okay, but we just want to help you focus on some new things this year, and that's why I wanted to talk about the 5 things here. And if you're in a position, guys, where you feel like everything sucked last year for you, your music wasn't going right, gigs were being cancelled, you could blame it on the COVID, guys. But despite that, you know, we at Collision and everyone a part of our family had a transformational year. Again, despite everyone losing their minds in 2020, we had a record year. I know many of our artists we worked with backstage had a record year for themselves as well. And that was because we stayed on focus on the things that were working for us. And the things that can help you move forward, guys, that's what you should be staying focused on, staying in control of as well. Things you can truly control, not focusing on the things that you can't, because I think that's what we do as musicians from time to time. And I'll speak true to myself. When I first started Collision, I focused on too many things out there that I could not control myself, things that I just, again, had happening coming at me. And again, what we need to be focusing on is less about that and more on the things we can control. What's within our realm, what's within kind of our world that we can literally focus on, have control over, and can make sure we move to that next milestone as well. So in terms of that, I'm going to be covering and focusing on everything that you guys need to also focus on over the rest of 2022 as well. So in terms of the 5 things to focus on as musicians that you guys should be doubling down on if you guys want to have your best year yet, and if you maybe want to turn this around for you as well and improve that situation for you, the first thing that you guys will need to focus on in 2022 if you want to improve and make this your year is goals. So I want you guys to write that down. GOALS, goals. This is really, really important. It's really time, guys, for you to get extremely goal focused, goal oriented. You know, again, the beginning of the year is really a great time to start talking about goals always as well. You know, the big issue is when it comes to goals that people struggle to set them. People struggle to actually create goals and don't know how to actively or accurately set them. I've recorded previously, guys, our last video is all about goal setting for 2021. I could go into total depth into that. But again, guys, I've wrote and worked on a video there for you guys so that you can go have a look at that video after today's live. It's the last video we posted on our channel, and it's going to walk you through how to goal set effectively, how to make sure you stay consistent with those goals. It's a great video nonetheless as well. And there is a clear difference that I want to make kind of clear to you guys at home as well between setting a goal and setting a target. Now, again, guys, you know, the difference can be difficult for many to realize, because I think too many people are setting targets rather than goals, and I think the two get confused from time to time. For an example, if you guys sold, say, 100 downloads of your EP, of your album last year, you know, you want to sell this year 150 copies, people think very short term, you know, and label that as a goal when actually it's a target. So that's going to be a big difference between the two. It's not going to change your life drastically. And again, it's something that many will give up easily on. So a goal needs to be a farther out mindset, you know, farther out intention that say over the next 2-3 years, I want to X. I want to be a full-time drummer. I want to kick and quit the 9-to-5 and pursue my music full-time. That could be an example of a goal. Just think about that difference that I've just shared there, guys, and start to consider what goals you want to look right down on and grow with going forward into 2022 as well. Definitely agree. We want to make this a year that we remember. We want to make this our year. And again, we don't want to get 2-3 weeks into 22 and, like many of us already are, starting to slip on the goals that we set ourselves at the start of the year. So that's why this is such an important, timely video for you guys to just remember to lock in, dial in, and start really focusing on the things that matter and are going to make that big difference and shift for you in your music. The second thing that I want you guys to focus on this year, and that we at Collision Drumsticks want you to pay attention to this year, are your skills. Skills are going to be paramount to help you reach your goals and therefore your 2022 vision faster. And again, it's not always about developing new skills, but it's about looking at the necessary skills you need to reach your goals. And I hope that's been made clear. Again, guys, for instance, you might want to improve on current skills. It could be your drumming as a whole. You might want to improve on your groove work or your speed. Well, that's not going to require you to create a new goal or require you to focus on a new skill. That's going to be something that you're already working on, you've already developed, and it's just going to be a process of consistently developing that goal. Does that mean you want to write a new timetable, a new approach to your practice? Does that mean you need to bust out the practice pad and the sticks and start getting to work? I know it's not always fun, but it needs to happen for you guys, because what you take now, you will take to the stage 6, 12, 18 months down the road as well. It's about creating those habits now and those positive habits to be able to then deploy them when you most need them. The last thing we want you guys doing is going to the stage, going to the studio, or getting an opportunity where you're not effective enough, where you're not feeling like you're confident enough. That's not the position that I put myself in whenever I come for, whether it's a live, whether it's a YouTube video, whether it's anything else that I do, whether it's coming to coach my clients privately. I am always turning up prepared, developing my skills, making sure that I'm working on myself as well. And again, it could be, for instance, setting the kit up in the garage. You could be setting the kit back up in the studio or at home if you've got the space to do it, or might even be practicing with the band. We need to be able to consume that information, or alternatively develop the skills we've got as well. And if you are looking to develop new skills and you're looking for that right support, we have a really exciting program here at Collision called Collision Backstage, where we work and walk with our drummers from, again, 9 to 5s to making their music their 9 to 5. Monetization, growing their mindset, helping them with the marketing. All of this can be made difficult if we're doing it on our own, and we're trying to focus on that. But again, if you want to work with the right fit and you want to work with experts within the industry, it's going to be a great solution for you. CollisionDrumsticks.com/membership for that, or the link is below as well, guys. When it comes to really recognition, we want to pay attention to what skills we've got currently, and then from there, do we need to improve upon, or do we need to then focus on a new skill? So that's going to be really important, because if you guys spend too much time just learning new skills all the time, and you don't focus enough on getting good at the skills you already have, then we know you're not going to be unique. And unique people sell today. Unique people get opportunities. Many of you drummers at home are working with our brand. Maybe you're working with other brands. The reason is because you've developed the skills necessary to meet that standard, meet that criteria, or meet where the client brand organization is at. So that's why it's so important that you focus on your current skills. I would rather work with, hire, provide an endorsement opportunity to a drummer who is 10 out of 10, developing the skills they've already got in the studio or behind the kit, than someone who is focusing on 50 new skills and being a 4 or 5 out of 10 drummer. So again, we want to work with the 10 out of 10s, and I know people out there do as well. And that, by focusing on those skills, is going to help you develop new opportunities and hopefully allow more people to see what you're doing and give you that recognition that you deserve as well there. So again, there are times where you will need to develop new skills. Say, for instance, you want to become a producer. You would need to learn a new skill on how to record, how to track, how to edit those tracks as well. And also things like how to build new clientele. There are many things that you're going to need to learn in order to ultimately become successful within this industry and successful in your practice as well, whatever that looks like to you guys as well. In terms of the third thing, and again, focusing on number 3 of the 5 things to focus on in 2022, I'm going to say people. And people are the great connector, guys. People are so important to you and the success of your music. Music is a team sport. It is a team effort. Many of you artists at home are already in projects. You're working with, collaborating with other musicians or other individuals, and already you might not feel like it yet, but you are building a team. And you've got to be a team player. So when I first started Collision, I tried to do everything on my own. I call myself the CEO of my music, and often what I'm finding when I'm speaking to our clients, many of our artists at home are the CEOs of their music, and that is Chief Everything Officer. You guys are branding, marketing, monetizing your music. You're struggling so much to do all of this, and then on top of that, be a family person, be a friend to others, run your day-to-day 9 to 5, do what you want to do within your life, and then you know what happens? You burn out. And that's the last thing we need to have happen to us as musicians in 2022 in order to reach our goals. So again, to prevent the burnout, to really make sure I, as a drummer and as a business owner, when I first launched Collision, ensured that I didn't burn out, it was making sure that I had a team around me. People who I could support, people who I could inspire and have inspire me, people who could help me to continue to develop and help hopefully them develop as well along the way. So how do you connect? How do you cultivate these relationships? That comes down to you and the way you pitch, present yourself, network with others. It could be at music networking events. There are many events online that could be a great opportunity for drummers at home to tap into. Some great resources are always on our blogs over at collision.drumsticks.com to how to network, how to pitch, how to present yourself. And also we work regularly week in with our artists behind the scenes backstage on presentation skills, on pitching, on being able to convey and explain themselves the way they want to. You know, many of our drummers go on to start doing their own Instagram lives, host their own weekly sessions with their fan base, and that helps, again, them connect, develop, build their team, and grow ultimately. There's a theory within our industry called the 1,000 fan strategy, and that is you guys can make your music, your 9 to 5, your full-time gig by focusing on a devoted fan base of 1,000 fans. All it takes is 1,000 fans. So when drummers want to be the biggest, what you really should focus on is being the best you can be, and the best drummer you can be, the best friend you can be to those fans. And that's what it's all about. It's about being a community leader, stepping up and rising to the occasion in 2021. So this is really, really important stuff, guys. That's why I want to focus so much on these 5 areas and 5 things to focus on in 2022, because I feel that these are overlooked often. They aren't focused on, and that's why we get 2, 3, 4 weeks into the new year and we're already slipping on our goals. We're already feeling that guilt of saying, hey, I'm not where I need to be. Why is that? This is why we're taking that next step, and we're really, really, really starting to unpick the things to focus on in the new year. Again, I would say spend time and surround yourself with the right environment. This really flows into the people aspect of the 5 things to focus on in the new year as well. People who are satisfied will never know why you guys at home are trying to work harder to reach that next new level. And again, the reason is because they'll never see it through your lens. They'll only ever see it through their lens and through their perspective. I always say we take far too much often advice from people on the sidelines, from the people who've never stepped foot on the field. This field is our industry. This field is your stage, whether that's playing live or whether that's your social media. You guys have big, big goals. We put a poll out over the last few weeks on our social media. Interaction with our artists is always essential at Collision. And we heard all about your goals. Again, we want to, be full-time in the industry. I want to start playing to 3, 4, 5,000 capacity venues. That might be a little bit of a farther afield goal, for example. Some drummers wanted to get an extra 2, 3 students within their music practice. Again, if you're not hanging around or surrounding yourself with the right people or the right environment to cultivate and be the right culture for that goal to grow and for you to maintain that consistency, you're just going to be held back. You're just going to look behind you and you're going to be tethered to the ground. So again, think about who you guys at home are spending the most time with and who you guys are actually actively listening to. Is it people that are going to help elevate you, or is it people who are going to help lower you and reduce you? And again, it's not about ditching the friends or ditching the family. It's about recognizing that and limiting the time of the negative talk and surround yourself with people who want to see you grow, think bigger than ever before, and make 2022 your year as well. And I hope that resonates. I know, again, it's not always easy to think about the people around you, and again, you're all very humble when it comes to who you want to surround yourself with. But again, this is what it's all about. Really surround yourself and elevate you with people who matter to you and who you want to become and aspire to be. To be an expert, you have to become an expert. And as part of that, you have to surround yourself with experts. Never be the smartest person in the room. Never be the most knowledgeable. Surround yourself with experts in the field. That's what I was always taught to do. Number 4, guys. We're at number 4 of the 5 things to focus on in 2022. Keeping you guys up to date, motivated, and bouncing about this as a concept. We want you guys to be looking and focusing on opportunity that is out there in the marketplace. You guys have to keep your eyes open. This is something always locked and loaded. You never know when opportunity is going to come your way or you're going to locate it. And again, it's about creating the opportunity if it is not there. And that's what's going to happen the majority of the time. I'm afraid to say it, and sorry to say it, but again, there are a lot of artists that will sit back within our industry and wait for the low-hanging fruit to come to them. The problem is with that, guys, through things like social media, online now, access is wonderful, but also what's that give us? It gives us access. So it's this two-sided sword, double-edged sword, blessing and a curse. It's about making sure that you guys are trying to get the low-hanging fruit, going out there, rolling your sleeves up and getting to work. And I know it takes effort, I know it's tough, but guys, this is a tough industry to break. And that's why very few people get to where they want to be, because they aren't resilient enough to make it happen for them. So guys, if you want to make it happen for your year, you've got to be on the lookout for opportunity. Again, you've got to be actively out there searching for those opportunities. Those waiting for opportunities, unfortunately, will be deeply disappointed. With so much noise out there, again, so difficult to be heard. So if you want to do something, you have to do it for yourself. You have to keep your eye on everything, and you need to look at things out there as well. The final thing that I and the team at Collision want you guys at home to focus on this year, and I hope you've had time to write everything down. Again, you can re-watch this video, and I encourage you to go back to the start, re-watch everything as we break it down together. So far, we have covered a variety of topics. Goals, being sure to set goals, not just targets, but focus on setting goals like a boss and like a pro musician. 2, focus on the skills. Are you guys looking to create and develop new skills, or can we hone in the skills you currently have? 3, the people. Who are you surrounding yourself with? Because you will become the average of them. 4, seizing opportunity. And number 5, and finally, guys, of the 5 things that you need to focus on in 2022 is action, and taking massive action. We want you to find ways to take more action than what you are doing already for yourself and your music. And at first glance, I know when this word action gets thrown around, people start to think, is it about doing more than what we're already doing? Is it about working harder? What massive action, to me at least, is about is eliminating time. Because that's the one thing as drummers, the one thing that we want to protect the most is the beat, is the time, locking in, being on the beat and being ready, timekeepers that we know we are, and we know we're the best to do that. But the thing is, many of us, if we don't set goals, take action right now, problem is, in 2023, we'll be sat in the same place, in the same seat we are now. And I know I'm not going to be in the same position I am now. I know I'm going to new heights. I know we're taking the team and hopefully the community, you guys with us. If you want to be a part of that, backstage, all these opportunities at collisiondrumsticks.com are going to provide you that. But again, what are you going to be doing this year to create that buzz for you, for your music, for the people around you to go, what are you doing? What is that artist doing? Oh my gosh, he's really pushing, or she's really pushing herself. I want to start surrounding myself with that person. Taking that action is a real buzz. It creates opportunity for yourself and for others as well. And that flows back into the other 5 goals. And that's why we wanted to have that in that particular order, because they're all interchangeable, but they're also interconnecting. They all flow in between each other. One does not work without the other set. So that's why it's really important to go back and really look into these 5 goals, but coming specifically deepen a bit deeper into, you know, the action side of things. You know, again, this is something that we want you to feel excited about. When it comes to, again, focusing on the action, don't just focus on how long or how hard something is, but the speed that you move from idea to execution. This is the thing that I want you to get clear on. What I'm talking about when it comes to massive action is taking your ideas and executing with speed. You know, you guys are sat there. I know we speak to many drummers who, you know, they've been in the industry 30 years, 20 years, 10 years, 5 years. They're yet to even apply to work with a brand. They're yet to even reach out to an organization. Guys, what are you doing? What is stopping you from doing that right now? We, as a brand, are always looking for new artists. I know many brands out there looking all the time for new artists. Again, whether it's us or whether it's another brand, go reach out to them. Take the action. Because if you don't, no one's going to do that for you. And again, what will that do? That'll kick the learning curve for you. Bring up, and again, create and narrow that distance in terms of how long you started ago and where you are now. And that's why it's really important to make sure that you're focusing this year on massive action. It could be taking action from the idea that you had, you know, years ago, months ago, in starting your own teaching practice, being a teacher, starting to teach drummers drum lessons. Well, taking that idea and executing, that's what massive action's all about. And that's what we want you to focus on. Realistically, we want you to focus less on working harder and longer and really making sure the hours that you do work are the most effective and you execute at the highest level possible. That's what number 5, taking action and taking massive action, is all about. And again, you know, people work hard, but they get caught up in chasing things like perfectionism, especially within our industry. You know, perfectionism, this idea of analysis through paralysis and paralysis by analysis, it's crippling. We get stuck, we get stopped right in our tracks, guys. And again, I know I'm hitting hard and I know I'm hitting home today, but these are the truths you need to hear going into the new year so we can kick the bad habits and focus on the effective habits. That is going to help us get us to where we want to go. And again, procrastination is the real killer of creativity. And as artists everywhere at home, we want to make sure that you focus on what action you can be taking now for your music. What can we control? Not about what we can't control. We want to push the uncomfortable. We want to say, hey, it's time to grow. It's time to level up. Now is your time. There is no better time than right now to start something. The best time would have been previously, in past opportunities, in past times. But the second best time to do anything is today. So again, what we want to recommend and challenge you guys at home to is trying this, focusing on this for the next 7 days. That's going to be our challenge, my challenge to you guys at home today. Taking all of the different things that we want you to focus on and putting them into practice over the next 7 days. If you can't do it for 7 days, you're not going to be able to do it for the rest of the year, 365 days. So what we want you to do is start executing every day, focusing on these 5 areas and making sure that you guys are reaching your goals daily. And see and make sure, hold yourself accountable. If you feel yourself starting to slip, then again, take a moment to reframe, pause, have a look at what's going on, and then go and grow from there, move forward from there. Now, we do have a masterclass coming up, guys, for everyone watching at home at the end of this month. Again, we have a masterclass coming for everyone at home who wants to take part, wants to get involved. Again, at Collision Backstage. To join us backstage, all you've got to do is visit the link in our bio or visit the link below, or alternatively visit collisiondrumsticks.com/backstage. collisiondrumsticks.com/backstage. That is going to be the best place for you guys to be able to go join and reserve your spot as well there. And again, there is no better way to start the year off as a musician than to join over 100 drummers around the world. And again, these people who are trying to do massive things in their music. Do you want to get the right people around you? If that's number 3 for you and you want to surround yourself with the right people, then there's no better place to be than in a room with 100 other drummers taking action. Those drummers taking action for yourself, for your music, who are investing their time, their effort, and their hard-earned money in getting the skills they need to grow their fan base, grow their following, monetize their music, and ultimately have the best year for them yet. And this is what it's all about. Backstage is the place that you guys at home need to be. Again, collisiondrumsticks.com/membership. Link below to join us there as well. You can literally join us for as little as £34 a month. The cost of only 1 drum lesson a month. And again, it's incredible value there, as you guys are already in the know of. And again, we want to help start your year, by helping you out any way we can, design your blueprint, track you through the year, and make sure that we walk with you through this to make this your best year yet as well. So again, we will see you all next week. Fresh content, fresh ideas, big goals, and we're going to be executing at the highest possible level. So again, to keep in touch, be sure to subscribe, be sure to give us a follow, and be sure to check out our videos here at Collision Drumsticks. Looking forward to seeing you all soon. Take care, stay safe, and have a great week.